Well, howdy, folks. We're in Lawton, Oklahoma. From what I've seen of Lawton so far, I'm not really liking what I've seen. It's been a pretty ghetto-looking town. It is a military town. It's where they do a lot of the basic training for the Army at Fort Sill. But I've seen a lot of hookers, a lot of drug deals going on. I spent the night here last night, and it's been quite a experience so far of just how well ghetto the town is. I didn't know anything about it coming in. This looks like some projects over here that are condemned or something. And this is the old Central Mall. I'm standing at the south entry. I'm not sure what these stores were. There's still a JCPenney's that's in business over there. I don't know how JCPenney's is in business at all. But most of the stores around this mall look to be closed. This is probably like a Dillard's or something back in the day. But yeah, we'll take a look around Lawton. Join us, shall y'all? Let's pull around here and see if there's any sign of life in this dead mall on this side of the mall. So anybody watching that knows what this building was, let me know. Maybe an old hotel? Not sure. You can see this looks like the outline where it said Sears at one time. Right there, you can faintly see it in the bricks. This whole part of the mall is completely gated off now. You can't even go in here. So, guessing that was another department store maybe there. Maybe a food court or something would have been in there. I'm not sure. But, yeah. It's like an old hotel, or, you know what it reminds me of is the old, when I was a kid, my grandparents lived up in Wisconsin, Madison. We go through Chicago, and this reminds me of the old bricks there in South Chicago when I was a kid. That's what it kind of looks like. So leaving that big structure, you can see to the right, that's still part of the same structure. I'm almost thinking that was like a convention center or something, and that was a hotel and convention center at one time. But I'd love to hear you guys' comments if you're from Lawton and you know the history of it. This building here looks like maybe it was a post office or something back in the day, like a large postal area, I'm not sure. And we're crossing over into this cool looking building. So this building here is the Lawton Housing Authority Elderly Housing. It kind of resembles an old Marriott or something from back in the day. I wonder if it was originally a hotel and then became this. I'm not sure. But it's still being used. Although from the road it doesn't really look like it is because it's kind of dilapidated, but it is still being used. So at the time of this filming, it is currently just about high noon Saturday, and I'm noticing that there's not any people in town. There's no one driving around, no one walking around. This is a central downtown corridor. This is a town of 91,000 plus people and a large military base. Like, where is everybody? Now, if you come through here at night, like I did last night, it's a whole different story. There was streetwalkers, hookers. I saw drug deals, 3 or 4 of those going on. During the daytime, though, not a soul. We're not passing cars. We're not passing people. No bicycles, no nothing. It's kind of odd. I mean, not even any dogs running around. However, there is a nice looking building right here. What is this? Oh, this is the Catholic Church in town. It's one of the few nice looking buildings I've come across so far. There goes a car. At least we found one car in town. We're passing some the Catholic school's soccer field or something. Pretty nice up kept. And over this way is the Baptist church with a tall steeple. So religion's a big part of town. That's good. And you can just kind of see the streets are really cracked in this town. Now we're passing the government buildings. This is the courthouse. It kind of resembles a Russian Cold War looking building. This town kind of resembles a Russian Cold War looking town. Odd, right? Now this building is the coolest building in town. Let's stop and see what this is. This is actually a really nice looking building. This looks like it should be a courthouse. Tell you what, this is one of the most impressive looking old school high schools I've seen. This is a beautiful high school. The big dome on top and all. Very impressive. I'm not sure if it still uses a school or what it is today, but very impressive building. Well, alrighty, folks, let's cruise on down the road here and see if we can find the main artery of town. If you notice, there's just a lot of vacant lots where buildings once were. A lot of closed businesses. It's almost like this town was built up through the 70s or maybe the 80s and just stopped. Alright, we came to the main intersection here. Fort Sill Road Avenue. And this is like one of the only places in town where I've seen nice homes. Everything else has been pretty dilapidated and very unkept. So this is where the fancy part of town is, I guess. You know, another thing is I've been driving all day through here and I haven't seen like any new developments, new neighborhoods, new shopping centers. They're bound to exist somewhere, you would think, but I haven't found them yet. Let's keep driving and see what we come across. And as you can see, this is kind of a small sample. It's not a real long road there. That's nice. It looks like this is the more modern high school, if you want to call it that. It looks like it was probably built in the late 60s or early 70s. Much larger than the really nice one we just saw. Big high school, very large. Here's yet another old strip shop, strip mall. There's a ton of these in town. A lot of them are vacant or have, oddball businesses. But here's what one of the normal neighborhoods look like. Mostly look like old GI houses, stuff built in the late 40s, maybe the early 50s. Low dollar amount homes. If you don't know what a GI house is, it's kind of the houses they built after World War II for the when they started the GI Bill and all, to give the veterans homes and all. Kind of the start of the middle class, basically, that has faded away into oblivion. They don't build normal size houses anymore. They're either mansions or an apartment, and that's it. There's no middle ground. This is it. So some of them are upkept, some are not. As you can see, in the roads in this town again are just horrible. Look at the roads; they're all cracked and bumpy, and I don't know, man. This town just seems to be stuck in yesteryear, and not in a good way. Some places you go to and you see an old town that's upkept right, and all the old buildings are there. It's kind of nice, but not this one. Alright, so we're back on one of the other main streets. I think this might be called Gore Street, if I'm not mistaken. One of the old streets from back in the day where you can tell all the old motor courts were, as we're passing all the old motor courts. Some look pretty dilapidated, some look pretty nice that they're upkept. Now normally, when I'm traveling through, going to a different location and all, I don't mind staying in these old motor courts. There's an old, original Taco Bell. There's another motor court. I kind of like them because you can pull right up, unload your shit, and then the next morning you're out the door and loaded and ready to go. This town though, when I pulled into town and saw the streetwalkers, I decided that was not in my best interest. I was going to find something around the highway that was well lit. Now I'm pulling into a Walmart here. Look at all the cages and stuff around everything. They do not want anything getting stolen. I think the theft must be really high. Now I started to pull into this Dollar Tree first. I need to pick up a few snacks and all. But you see all the bums out here and meth heads and all the drug addicts? They were all right in front of the store, right in front of the entrance when I pulled up. I was like, I'm not getting out here and leaving Mrs. Chef in the car. There's no way. And I had the baby with me. There's more bums and stuff hanging out at the bus stop, just everywhere. Some of them look like Kensington, you know. They're all slumped over like they're on that trank and stuff. Bad stuff. Anyway, we're cruising uptown here. A couple of these shopping centers in here have been redone, so they're not quite as nasty looking. This is one of the best looking shopping centers in town that I'm passing. Looks like it was an old one that they kind of refurbished, put some new stucco on it, made it look at least presentable. But I'm telling you, this is a big spread out town. It's really spread out. Like for 100,000 people, it looks like the size of something that would have 200,000-300,000 people. And it's just weird. It needs to be basically condensed, in my opinion, where there's just too much vacant land and stuff out and about as I run this red light. And so it just makes the town look really shitty because there's too much. Now, I went and ate at this place last night. There's a video on my other channel on that. A fast food place. That's where I saw all the hookers and streetwalkers and all. This one's burned out. Looks like it was the same type of concept. Max. It's burned out. There's a vacant lot where something else was. It's burned out. Here's another vacant lot and a vacant building. Just lots of vacancy, lots of empty lots. Almost reminiscent to me of like what Vegas looked like when I was a kid. You drive through and there's all these motor courts and empty lots and stuff. Kind of like that. There's another empty building. I saw empty Church's Chicken, empty Hardee's, empties, whatever. You know, everything is out of business. There's trailer parks just right in the middle of town. Pawn shops everywhere, vacant buildings. You can see the signs are there, what's left of the sign, but there's no building left. It's really crazy looking. There's more vacant buildings, more vacant. There's one wasn't anymore. And again, look at these roads, folks. I don't think they have a road department. All right, folks. Now the part of the film you've all been waiting for. That's right. What are the demographics, Max? What's the demographics to this town? Well, according to ZipRecruiter, the average income is $52,313. And from looking around town, that seems high to me. Or maybe I'm smoking crack. Hell, I don't know. I think it's just a case of the haves and the have-nots. I don't know how they calculate this. You do have a large military base. And military guys, you know, some of the officers all make decent money. And there's a lot of oil money, as there is oil fields out here. So I guess that's equating into it. But I'm telling you from looking around, man, a lot of these people don't look like they make much money, man. I mean, to tell you the truth, I'm expecting to run into Jesse Pinkman or Walter White out here. Dun 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 dun. And the Trailer Park Boys. So Lawton is the 6th largest city in the state of Oklahoma and the largest in western Oklahoma, which means west of I-35. The town is named after General Henry Ware Lawton. And he died in the Philippine-American War. I didn't even know we had a Philippine-American War, to be honest with you. I've never heard of it. Hold up here. I think I just saw Jesse Pinkman and Walter White. Let's take a look in here quick. Alright guys, I'm looking for Walter White. Let's see if we can find him. Yeah, there he is. There he is. I was looking for this. I need to pick me up. Yeah, this town is just, it's almost unbelievable. Like, there's not hardly any nice places in this town. We're just driving around. I'm not purposely looking for bad parts. The whole town's bad. I mean, if you live here, I mean, leave a comment. Is there a nice place in this town? I mean, I saw one street on Fort Sill Boulevard or Road or Avenue or something. It's kind of decent, but man, this whole town is just like this. The whole town. Like, I've never seen a town. This reminds me of like Albuquerque or something, but even worse to me. So Lawton has 4 big companies, manufacturing companies, and all in town. One of them being Goodyear Tire and Rubber. This is their largest tire production facility. It opened in 1978. You also have Bar S Foods. They make those hot dogs that are like below the bottom of the shelf that you might find in one of these stores in this shopping center on Lee Boulevard. And there's another vacant building, Brahms. Also, they have Republic Paperboard, which makes cardboard, sheetrock and stuff. So if you're wondering where your sheetrock comes from Lawton. And then the last one is the Cosmetic Specialty Labs, manufacturing cosmetic products. So according to the web, Lawton is 48% white, 20% black, 5% Native American, 3% Asian, 1% Pacific Islander, 9% mixed race, and 15.5% Hispanic. So on another note, Steven Hillenburg is from Lawton. So if you're into the show SpongeBob SquarePants, the creator is from right here in town. And if you watch that show, it's kind of a weird show, and that makes perfect sense because this is a weird town. I also had no idea that he had passed away at the age of 57 back in 2018 from Lou Gehrig's disease. Alright guys, I want to thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this drive through Lawton. Hey, looky there. Saul Goodman be proud. Alright, we'll see you folks next time. Peace out, and subscribe below.